You can help support and promote the show by purchasing our merchandise at cafepress.com/Packard Pokes At, where you can choose from a variety of different items like hoodies, hats, and bears. Oh my! Put a Packard Pokes At mug in your hands today.
Do you like Packard Pokes At and want to hear it on demand and on the go? Download the free app today at Stitcher.com. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad.
This is Packard Pokes At, and I'm poking at your news. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another fine edition of Packard Pokes At. I am your immutable and unmutable host, Packard Sonic. And our special thank you out to Godless Glenn for our brand new intro opening, which I forgot to mention a couple weeks prior, but I mentioned it last week's show. Anyway, this is episode 165, everybody. This is we're getting so close to 200 now. I'm starting to smell it, you know.
Are you sure that's what you're smelling?
Well, it could be old cabbage. I don't know. Joining us from the far middle of nowhere is Dave. You're damned.
Good evening, everyone. This is Packard Pokes At, and I'm poking at your news.
Wait a minute. I think that's my line.
We're not talking about the length of your whatnot, are we? Again, are we, Dave?
Only if you want to.
That's a topic of much discussion in our meetings, unfortunately.
Our first topic of this evening.
Yes. And joining us from the far west coast is Connie, Practical Magic 9.
Yes, sir, Captain Tight Pants.
And my pants are tight. That's why I'm speaking higher tonight. Oh, well, we have some wonderful stories for you tonight, so let's get going to our first topic for this evening.
Building a better future, science and technology.
What is the one thing that most people hate doing other than getting audited by the IRS? And that is going to the dentist. Why? Because they like to take their long, pointy sticks and they poke around inside the most sensitive area of your body. No, not your ass, your mouth. Because you got to eat with it, you got to talk with it, and you got to, make faces at people with it. When you get poking around inside there, unless you've got one of these people out there who got perfect teeth and they's like, oh, we'll see you in 6 months and you had a perfect visit. Most people go in there and they have to get cavities filled, get their teeth cleaned, whatever, and it's just unpleasant. And one of the most unpleasant things about it is, like I just mentioned, is getting your teeth filled. However, there is hope on the horizon. Scientists have developed a new pain-free filling that basically allows the cavities to be repaired without drilling. Can you imagine that? If you go to the dentist, they say, yep, you got a cavity, but you're not going to hear, oops. That's terrible because you don't know if they've cut off half your other tooth because your whole side of your mouth is all numbed up usually. The development of this process was developed at King's College in London. And it basically, like I said, it does away with the fillings and instead encourages the teeth to repair themselves. It's a new treatment. It's called Electronically Accelerated Enhanced Remineralization, or the EAER. And basically, it accelerates the natural movement of calcium and phosphate minerals in the damaged tooth. So basically, they put this polymer, or whatever the stuff is, inside the area where the tooth is damaged. And they just pack that in there, and it helps to encourage the growth of the tooth. After there's some, I think they put some like electrical things in there too to stimulate it, like jump starting it, I guess, like giving it a little shock, get it going. But it's still a few years away. At the time of this article, it's about 3 years away before it becomes widely available everywhere, at least hopefully in the United States. Dave, your thoughts?
This is Packard Pokes At, and we're poking at your teeth.
And we lost half of our subscribers right now.
Please come back. We won't poke at your teeth anymore.
I cannot stand going to the dentist. It's one of the things in life that I dread more than anything. And I'm pretty vocal about it when I get to the dentist and I tell the dentist, hey, I don't trust you. This may be something that could change my opinion. I mean, if I can go there and there's no drilling and there's no poking around and there's no pain, that's definitely a beneficial thing. I need this.
Yes.
I need this in my life, like now. I need this 3 years ago, not 3 years from now.
Right, yeah, me too.
The idea that they can actually encourage the tooth to regrow is absolutely amazing. And the way that they currently do dental work is certainly not ideal. So I think this is fantastic. I think this is going to do leaps and bounds for dentistry, and hopefully it's going to revolutionize the entire industry and all the practices with it. I mean, it can also be used to whiten teeth and do all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So it's
whiten your teeth and fresher breath.
for that kissable smile.
Yeah. It makes me wonder, if you think about it, in the early days, you had a cavity in your tooth. The one way to get rid of it was just yank the tooth, and that was the only fix. Then came the drilling. Of course, the dentist had to pump on the drill at the bottom with his foot so he keep the drill moving. And of course, if he gets tired or whatever, and that drill stops halfway, then you lose the tooth or your cheek or whatever. So the dentistry has come a long way, and now it's taken the next evolutionary step forward to something even better. Connie, your thoughts?
Is anybody else seeing Steve Martin from Little Shop of Horrors? Be a dentist. You have a talent for causing things pain. I mean,
I have that song.
the only other thing that I think dentists really care about, other than like drilling teeth, is my pocketbook.
Yeah, they charge per side of the tooth.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying the way I understand, they charge, and I had some dentist work done. They charge per side of the tooth, not per tooth, which is a very common misconception. The top side, the left side, the front side, the back side, the right side, and the inside. They charge for all of it. They don't charge.
They know that you don't want to come back, so they've got to bleed you dry when you're there, right?
Yeah, in more ways than one. There was a real quick. Since we're talking about the dentistry, there's a YouTube channel. It's called Cyanide and Happiness, and they had this one about dentistry. This guy here, you hear this guy he goes to the dentist. He puts a suction tube in there, and the guy's looking around here in the suction tube, and then they see that he's looking at this on the wall. It says employee of the month, and it's the same guy, and then he's looking around, following the hose down that's coming out of his mouth that's going to the bottom of this cabinet. So he gets curious, he opens up the door, and it's the employee of the month sucking on the end of the tube, sucking out the spit out of his mouth.
Oh. Well, this is Packard Pokes At, and
we just grossed you out.
And Practical Magic is poking at the door to leave. Oh my God, that's awful.
I didn't say they were happy cartoons. They're just,
but they want this within 3 years. Now, first of all, what I really love about this is that it's reparative. It's sort of like the difference in every other form of medicine. We're trying to get to the point where we don't just when we're attacking cancer, we're not just irradiating the entire body or cutting out parts of the body, and that's what's really exciting about this. I've always wondered in my head, like, why is it there's other creatures like sharks that regenerate teeth, and yet we are given like 2 sets in our entire life? And so this is really exciting. They think it's going to be cost effective, and I don't know what that means, because again, I think the dentistry is one of the most expensive things you can have done. That, we need our teeth to be able to digest correctly. My husband he has a very hard time. His teeth are the kind that are crumbling, and he's and stuff, and so it's really bad. But if we want to see this happen in the next 3 years, this might be actually a good opportunity, because they are seeking private investors so that they can bring this to, and I'm sorry, I look at dentistry, I'm going, wow, there's some money in that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Where do I sign up? Hey,
Yeah,
I hate going.
exactly.
I hate going to the dentist, but
do we have to form a corporation ourselves, or what's happening?
You know, I'm not a big fan of going to the dentist myself, but if there's money to be made at this, I put my $5 in.
There you go. So, and there might be this actually has a good chance of actually having a return.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But funny how we went from money to putting money where your mouth is to money that's coming out of your mouth because of your mouth, and now you're putting money back in your pocket.
Well, you know what? You can look at it as a trade-off there. So, well, I need this much done, so.
Yes, exactly. We had a comment from here in the chat room by someone called Internet. I go to the dentist just to have an excuse for the lady to lean her cleavage over my chin and tell me to open wide. Dude, you can go to the lap bands bar and get that same treatment for probably about $1,000 less. Oh, Crystal's in our chat room tonight. She says 2 words: nitrous oxide, and I completely agree. I always, when I've gone to the dentist in the past, it's like, the nitrous oxide is usually for the small kids. I don't care. I'm paying for it. Give me the nitrous.
I need the nitrous for the injections you get in your mouth. I haven't had that much dental. I'm very fortunate. I actually don't have a lot of dental problems, but yeah.
I've done that in the past.
Needle, I'm like.
Yeah, see that big needle? It's in realistic. It's about probably an inch long, but when you're sitting in that chair, it's coming at you. It's about 4 feet long. You know, like in your mind, like they're coming for me from Alaska. That's how big this fucking needle is. You know.
Well, it feels like it's going through your sinus cavities and gonna poke through your eye when they're going through the roof of your mouth. It's like, no.
Yeah, it's like, how far are you digging? Are you gonna dig in there? I mean, because my brain is about 2 more inches to the left.
Yeah, we're doing brain surgery today. Yeah. I don't see a brain surgeon thing on your wall.
Right. Yeah. Brain surgery's on the next door over. If you want to perform brain surgery, go there. Yeah. So. Speaking of brain surgery, let's move on to our next topic for this evening. And on tonight, it's a secret. We're going to be covering Whisper. I had some comments from people saying that they couldn't read the video of what we had up on the screen there, so I've made some adjustments so it's a little bit larger. And these secrets are coming from the application called Whisper, and you can find this online at whisper.sh or iTunes or your Android Google Play Store or whatever. So we're going to pull up the Whisper. We're going to go reverse Robin here with Connie first. Connie, one time I sung in the shower and the neighbors called the cops because they thought someone was getting murdered.
There's a hot and a cold setting, and
oh my. Yeah, make sure you adjust those people. All right, Dave. I rescued 2 baby raccoons, and I am keeping them as pets. It's illegal in my state.
That's because they're burglars.
They do wear masks, and they have that shifty look in their eyes. You know.
It's called kidnapping at this point.
Yeah, it's called kidnapping.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm counting the days until my daughter turns 18, so I can legally throw her out of the house. Done putting up with her shit. Parent of the Year award. You take your Parent of the Year award and shove it far up your ass. If you want to get rid of your kids that badly, why the fuck do you have them? Probably only for the child support. You're an asshole.
Generally, they should be taking care of their own shit at the age of 18.
Right. You should be taking care of their shit.
It's called the toilet.
That's true. Okay, Connie. My 25-year-old son and his girlfriend made love every night during a family vacation last week. I listened in every time.
Stock word. Hello, Carrie Mills. Oh, goodness.
I think that's Norman Bates' mom.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't put it here, but I wonder if they're listening in and hearing, you know where their fingers and hands were.
You have to really get some really good listening devices. You know.
Glass. All you do is take a glass, put it up against the wall. That's all you need. Of course, those hotel room walls are pretty thin to begin with. Okay, Dave, my boss told me today that if I miss work to see my fiancé off before his deployment, then I would be fired. Looks like I'm in need of a job.
Priorities, man.
That's right. Got to have priorities. He's going to be gone and has a job. You don't anymore, apparently. Okay, one time I was at Walmart. I was walking down an aisle wearing an army hoodie, and an old man passed me. Are you in? No, my fiancé is. Good. You're too fat. Well, bonus, old dude. Maybe if that guy, I'd say, good. Why don't you go sit down and I'll go sit on you and see how fat I really am.
He's that fat and he can't feel if he's in.
That's right.
Oh, you're too old.
You're too old anyway. All right. We'll do this one more time.
Okay.
Connie, I saw a drunk man peeing in the corner of the stairwell at a train station last night. So I quietly walked up behind him and let out a scream. He pissed all over himself and proceeded to fall down with his pants around his ankles. It was great.
Served him right being spun around. Oh my God.
That'd been funny if he had spun around and pissed all over you. That'd been even funnier.
I don't know if I have anything funny about it. Oh my God, I wish that person had done that. Shoot. Oh my gosh.
Okay, Dave. My boyfriend has become really focused on his eyebrows being neat and tidy since the first time I plucked them. I've created a monster.
Monster with really thin eyebrows?
Oscar the Grouch would have nothing on him then.
I would look for Village People albums.
Well-groomed man.
I am tidy eyebrowed man. Okay, last one. I'm sitting at a park late at night, just thinking of being engaged to my fiancée is what I want. And a cop pulled up and knocked on my window. Park closed 3 hours ago, he said and smiled. We ended up talking for 2 more hours. He asked me to see me again today. Dude, or lady, I guess. You're thinking about your fiance and you're gonna make time with a cop? It's great to have priorities, I guess. I don't know. It's good to have somebody, a good friend in the police department, but
he's leaving his options open.
Or maybe it could have been no. She's leaving her options open apparently. So.
Oh, look at Doggin's dog.
A little late night stick action. That's probably what was going on.
Instead of a little night music, a little night stick.
little nightstick. Okay, let's get. Speaking of people with nightsticks, we got a commercial here that's going to tell you how you can give us some nightsticks by donating some money over at patreon.com/Packard Pokes At. That's PATREN. I don't even know if I can spell it anymore.
Start again.
Patreon, patreon.com/Packard Pokes At. Just look up Patreon. Just Google it if you have to.
PATREON.
That's it. Thank you. I can't spell it. Go there /Packard Pokes At, and if you want to donate some money to us, that'd be great. Help keep the show on the air, keep the lights on here in the house, where my recordings are.
You can buy Packard a dictionary.
You can buy me a dictionary. Donate today and help me get a dictionary. Or, if you want to help us out in other ways, we're going to give you that information and other ways you can contact us right now.
You should contact us by email at ppapodcast or packardpokesat@gmail.com, and follow the show on Twitter as @PackardPokesAt, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/PackardPokesAt, or just type Packard Pokesat into the Facebook search bar. Call our Google Voice at 662-709-PPAP or 662-709-7727, and leave a short message and we will play it on the show. Join in the show live Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time at vaughnlive.tv/Packard Pokes At. Download and rate us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Mixler Radio, and watch the show on YouTube. Visit our show page at packardpokesat.wordpress.com for links to the stories and purchase merchandise from cafepress.com/PackardPokesAt to support the show. For everyone that rates us, you are awesome sauce.
And thank you, Joe. Even though he's not here, he somehow manages to make his way back into the show every show. Anyway, we have our discussion topic. We're getting on to that right now.
Could it be Satan?
Tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about that to a point. The misinformed things that religious people think about atheists. And tonight's topic is, do people think that the upside down cross is the symbol for atheism, which it is clearly not. If you look online, if you type in the word atheist symbols, you get a variety of different things. But I have never once ever seen, personally myself, of course that's argument from personal experience, of course, but I've never seen an upside down cross that says, people think that it's for atheism. But I did put this question out on Whisper, actually, and someone said that they thought it was for Satanism, but not for atheism. At least so, there are some people out there in the community that are at least a little more educated. But overall, that's not what it is. We're going to be discussing that tonight. So we're going to put up the timer, and there it is. And the timer starts now. Connie.
Well, there's a lot that's people are misinformed about in the Christian community. I think it's primarily since the 70s, the Jesus movement and the evangelicals and apostolic kind of churches. But an upside down cross was considered to be, as the reverse of what the symbol is for Christ and salvation. Mm-hmm. And it just speaks to how uneducated a lot of the modern church is about its own history. Mm-hmm. Because it's I'm not going to take this thunder away from Dave, but I did not even know that this was the cross of Peter. It's actually a Catholic symbol. And so, it's not the only one, though. I mean, the fish symbol actually was the great mother goddess. It was not, I know that they try and say, oh, yeah, it has something to do with Christ's name. And, mm-hmm. and in Greek, it spells out this thing like ichthus or whatever. But no, they just like to assign everything to being that's not that they identify with being a Christian symbol as being anti-God. I remember when I was a new Christian back in the early 70s. The peace symbol was another really popular symbol at the time, and they said, well, that's a broken cross, and that's taking the cross and it's breaking the arms down, and they've fallen down into the circle, and it's mm-hmm. actually an evil symbol. And so was the Ankh, which was the Egyptian symbol for life. So, right. They're just symbols, and quite honestly, the cross, no kind of cross is a symbol for atheism, and actually, Satanists themselves just they don't worship Satan. That
right.
That would be a devil worshiper who worships a being called a devil. They're actually atheists too. So I appreciate my friends who are believers who educate themselves about things.
Absolutely.
And they're not afraid of just a symbol.
Right.
So yeah, there we go.
Okay. Dave, you know way more about this than I do.
Yes.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean it's a fairly complicated issue here. As far as what you had mentioned with the cross of St. Peter, so there is in church folklore, it is said that St. Peter was crucified upside down. Mm-hmm. Because he was not worthy of being crucified in the fashion that Christ was. Now, there are several accounts of St. Peter's crucifixion, and only one of these accounts mentions it this way. But it has taken up a lot of it's become a popular meme. Mm-hmm. that has been perpetuated in the church. And because St. Peter is considered the first pope, the upside-down cross has also continued to be the symbol of the pope. So if you look at several pictures of the throne that the pope sits at, it'll actually have an upside-down cross on it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So the Pope is sitting in a throne with an upside-down cross. Meanwhile, people are calling it an atheist symbol. And I didn't realize that people thought that it was an atheist symbol until I was on Twitter debating people. And I'd often, not really often, but often enough, encounter people who would tweet out things about the upside-down cross being an atheist symbol.
Really?
Where it is a very Christian symbol. It has been a symbol that's been associated with Christianity for centuries upon centuries. I mean, obviously, since popes have been around with Catholicism. But
a symbol of humility in that sense.
A symbol of humility, yeah.
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 When in the negative aspect, the anti-Christian versions, I've seen it in video games. Like it was in Doom. They had you go into this one particular room. They had the cross, and then you have to get something to open up, and then the cross switches the position, and then all these demons pop out, and you have to fight them and everything. So it's very common in video games. It's so to say, it's a demonic thing. So it's obviously people upside down on crosses or whatever, and they to show like they're being evil spirits or
it's
some
shorthand
bullshit.
though.
Yes.
I mean, symbols and these kind of things are shorthand that we use in storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, and so Anton LaVey is the founder of the Church of Satanism. Right. And that was in 1966. And when he founded the Church of Satanism and wrote the Satanic Bible and all of that, he himself was an atheist. Not all Satanists are atheists, but LaVeyan Satanists are atheists. The people who follow the Church of Satan are atheists. They appropriated the upside down cross because of misconceptions that were associated with it as a shock value. And because of that, and because of it being associated with the Church of Satan, and essentially LaVeyan Satanists are epic trolls. They're atheists who are trolling the Christians for shock value. And they've appropriated this symbol because of misconceptions, and they use it to highlight people's ignorance of what the symbol actually is. And because of that, it becomes perpetuated in all sorts of culture. The video games, the movies, the metal bands, all of that, they've now perpetuated the misconception.
Right. And it's not so hard, it's really not that hard to perpetuate something like that especially in this culture, because everybody's like, oh, we want to be anti-culture, counterculture, whatever it is, and we just want to be against the government, against the status quo, and we'll use anything we can to try to make ourselves look bigger than we are, or just something like, oh my gosh, look at that, do that for shock value.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at famous paintings by people like Caravaggio, who painted the crucifixion of St. Peter, you will see it depicted as an upside-down crucifixion. Right. And that, goes back to, I mean, the crucifixion upside down was told by Origen of Alexandria. He talks about the martyrdom of Peter, which is a fragmented text that's been found. So there's that,
and that's time.
200 AD. 200 AD.
That's... Sorry, we had a little problem with the soundboard tonight. Anyway, it's not a symbol of atheism, and if you do see somebody using this and saying it's a symbol of atheism, they're doing it for shock value only, and they're just out there to try to get your goat.
Or they're misinformed.
Or they're just misinformed, right? Yes, exactly. Okay, let's get on to our next topic for this evening.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
And on tonight's Did You Know They Were an Atheist, we're going to be talking about a person who's written quite a few number of things you've probably seen on TV. If you've ever seen Buffy the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. No, if you're looking for the Buffy the Vampire Layer, that's a different writer altogether. No, there's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He wrote the original book, and his name is Joss Whedon. That's Joswhedon, and he was on. There's a quote here, and it's a very long quote. It's like a small book in itself, so I'm just going to read part of it. But you can get the link at packardpokesat.wordpress.com, which will link to the original article, and I'll have the entire length of it there. But in a question and answer session while promoting his new movie Serenity, Whedon was asked, "What do you have against being a Christian?" He answered, "I don't actually have anything against anybody unless their belief precludes everybody else. I'm an atheist and an absurdist, and I have been for many, many years." So right there he says that he's an atheist. Dave, your thoughts?
I didn't really know what his name was. I'm familiar with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Actually, I like the movie version of Buffy the Vampire Slayer better. I liked it when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he was unhappy with it, which is why he made the series. So
right.
I may have... I may like the stuff that people took over from him more so than what he himself does.
Right.
I have been forced to watch Buffy and Angel by so many girls over my life.
Ain't those vampires just dreamy?
Oh my! It's absurd, and I have to say, I mean, his apparently he rewrote Speed, and a bunch of his lines are in Speed.
Mm-hmm. That's
sweet. I'm down with that.
Sure.
I was surprised to hear that too. I was like, "Oh my gosh," because I love that movie.
Yeah, Speed's sweet.
Yeah, he was also on the only one season of Fire. Well, he wasn't in the. He wrote for the one season series of Firefly. And if you ever talk to any good, really sci-fi geeks out there, they talk about Firefly, and they're like, "Oh my god, I love that Firefly!" It's like
sore about that.
Yeah. I have yet to watch it. It's in my to-watch list yet. So.
So one thing that I did find interesting is he's arguably the very first third-generation sitcom writer.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that something?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. His grandfather was a writer, his father was a writer for television, and now he is a writer for television. And that's awesome in my mind.
Yeah,
that's really impressive.
Yes.
His mother was a novelist too.
Yeah, a novelist as well, and a composer of music.
Mm-hmm. And his brother actually writes a lot of music. His brother wrote the music for the Dr. Horrible sing-along blog.
Oh. I mean, too bad he made Buffy, but whatever.
Well, and okay, I want to say that with Buffy, I tried to research it because when you said that, I'm like, what's going on? It was because Donald Sutherland was winging his lines. It was just too much. I mean, this was Whedon's baby. Mm-hmm. I think. I don't know, and I'm not saying that I liked the series Buffy, but I think that he didn't like the way that Donald Sutherland was given free reign to do whatever he wanted because he's, he can read the phone book and sound good, and he just kind of butchered his lines. They made no sense, and a lot of the story that Whedon had written into the movie was lost, and that's why he went and did the TV series he did. I don't know that it was better or worse, but yeah, I go, well, okay. He's gone on to do other things that I really love, though, so that's a positive.
Dawkins said in the chat room, he said Dollhouse wasn't that great either. Josh is a very hit or miss. I didn't know he was involved in Dollhouse. I personally didn't.
It was his series.
I liked the first couple episodes, but after that, it just kind of became like, I didn't.
You throw mud against the wall when you're a creator, though. You don't know what's going to stick. You have an idea and you do it, and so he's prolific. I look at his stuff, I'm going, man, he keeps sticking his neck out there, and maybe it will work and maybe it won't. Maybe when you think about a writer, they're just putting words on a page. They need money. They need money. They need a director. They need a set. They need actors. They have all these other things that have to come together for their vision.
Wait a minute, people. You mean people get paid money to do that shit?
Right?
So I hear. Money is this elusive object, isn't it?
It is. I can never seem to get any. That's why you need to go to patreon.com Packard Pokes At and donate today.
Patrelon.
That's it. / Packard Pokes At.
So notably, though, I'd like to mention that in April 2009, Harvard University did present Whedon with the Outstanding Lifetime Achievement Award in Cultural Humanism.
Sweet.
Interesting.
And that's, I think that's quite an achievement.
Yes.
He writes such strong roles for women. I realize that maybe they're, I don't know if they're perfect roles, but he does generally give women a lot to do in his work, and I really, I think that's admirable too. He's,
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, if anybody has anything last to say about Joss Whedon, you can find him on Wikipedia, and that's where my sources anyway, and
IMDb.
And IMDb and CelebrityAtheist.com. So, but if you want to look him up, and if you don't want to try to actually type the name into Google, just go to PackardPokesAt.wordpress.com. There'll be a link there on the page. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and we will be back next week with our regular long-ass show. So bring the popcorn and some snacks, because I'm getting hungry over here.
Bring enough to share.
Bring enough for share, everybody in the chat room. So we'll see you next week. This has been Packard Pokes That we just poked at your news.
And that's a wrap.